Oftentimes, game design and flow are at the back of the player's mind when playing video games. The meticulously crafted beginner experiences overshadowed by fancy visuals and gameplay. But behind all the bells and whistles of normal game experiences, there are intricately crafted and purposefully designed masterpieces hidden behind the simplest of concepts. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the incredible design of Ball X Pit. Ball X Pit, or Ball Pit, or Balls, or whatever the you want to call it, is a recently released roguelike city builder inspired by the classic game Brick Breaker, also known as Breakout. It tasks you, the player, with a simple objective. Bounce balls on enemies to kill them as they move towards you at a fixed rate, or you die. Now you may be wondering, how the is a Brick Breaker roguelike intricately crafted and purposefully designed? Well, to put it simply, it has what I could consider maybe to be the most perfect progression loop in all of 2025 so far. As you start the game for the first time, you're told the basics. Bounce the balls, level up, get more balls, get passives, repeat. After a fixed amount of time, you're then introduced to the most complex feature in the game, the Fusion Reactor, a power-up that has a few effects, each with their own potentially game-altering abilities. The first one that the player is likely to run into is the Fission upgrade, a simple power-up that just gives you up to 5 upgrades for your currently held balls and passives. As time goes on, you'll run into another Fusion Reactor and likely will encounter the second upgrade, Fusion. Fusion allows you to combine 2 of your fully leveled balls and receive a slightly stronger ball with the effects of the 2 balls combined. In a lot of cases, severely upping your damage output, but it doesn't really hold a candle to the third and final Fusion Reactor upgrade, Evolution. Evolution allows you, the player, in a similar fashion to the Fusion power-up, combine 2 or more fully leveled balls or passives to create an all-new, completely unique ball or passive. These evolved balls and passives have some of the most powerful abilities in the game, and even themselves can be used as fusion materials to combine even further using the fusion power-up. Now, it's wonderful that these exist, but how do they come into this masterful design that I was talking about? Well, simply put, it's pretty likely that you as a player will figure all of this out in your first run. At the beginning of the game, the ball selection is pretty small, and the bleed ball, which is the ball you initially start with on the first character you unlock, has multiple evolutions available within the initial ball pool. This means that you, as a new player, will likely experience all 3 possible Fusion Reactor upgrades within the first few minutes of your gameplay. Not to mention the seemingly infinite possibilities that the Fusion upgrade provides, which allows players to have incredible freedom when it comes to choosing your balls. Maybe you want bleed, and you want fire, because those don't evolve into anything. You can get a fire bleed ball, and that's pretty cool. These are all incredible design choices, but we're not even done yet because we still have to talk about the progression system, which even of itself is incredible. When a player wins or loses a run, they are brought to an empty space which acts as the game's main hub. From this empty space, the city builder functionality of the game begins. Bet you thought I forgot about that, huh? The player can farm resources like wood, stone, or wheat by making farms in this empty space. The farming is done by playing even more Brick Breaker and bouncing your unlocked characters off of buildings and farm plots to harvest their resources or build the buildings. As the player beats more bosses, they'll unlock more blueprints, which unlocks more buildings. By spending the resources that you gather throughout the game, you can construct these buildings, which add a whole host of new things, from characters to auto farms to better resource plots. Not only that, but each character unlocked adds more potential for subsequent harvests, which is effectively a positive feedback loop of get more characters, get more resources, get more buildings, get more win, forever and ever until you have all the characters, buildings, and as many resources as you could need. One step further is all of these buildings can usually be upgraded to provide even more bonus effects for you. The city itself can be expanded and rearranged at any time, allowing for more intricately designed farming or building routes that you might set up, intricate bounce paths, and intricate ways to align the characters so that they go in ways that you like. having them bounce off of one building to another to build buildings faster, having them bounce through hundreds of your resource plots so that you can get as many resources as possible within the time limit that you have for your harvest. And all of these things can be rearranged at a moment's notice with no penalty or fee. Just ability to rearrange right out the gate. But those aren't even the most exciting things when it comes to the progression. The most powerful progression tools in the game are the trophies. And I'm not talking about the Steam trophies, I'm talking about these. The trophies in this game are buildings that the player unlocks the blueprint for after completing each level for the first time. They act as sort of, well, a trophy for the player's hard work, but they also contain a benefit. For each character you complete the corresponding level with, you get a permanent stat increase across the entire game. This not only encourages leaning into the roguelike systems, playing as many runs as possible, using all of your new characters, but it rewards you for doing so, which is amazing. There are so many games where, yeah, you beat the run, you get an upgrade, but it doesn't really do much. Or having multiple characters, there's not usually a reward, at least when it comes to certain things. Sometimes you unlock items like with Binding of Isaac or Risk of Rain, but it's not always the case, and not all of those games really lean into it as much as this does. In one of the later levels, for example, the trophy gives you a permanent flat damage increase, which in my opinion was instrumental to beating the game with some of the harder characters, and it just makes the game a lot more interesting. And most of this stuff is just at the start of the game. As you progress, the buildings get more complex and expensive. They add entirely new things, like starting with a ball at a higher level, picking up new balls starts at higher levels, getting new passives, increasing the stat scaling, even the ability to take two characters into a run and combine their unique passives, which in my opinion is the most insane upgrade in the whole game, completely changing the flow of gameplay. The game is just constantly throwing things at you and just, here, take this, here, take this, here's another thing for you. And it's incredible. It rewards all of the effort that you put in for it. And all of it for the extremely low price of $14.99 USD, which is just chef's kiss. Now look, I know this was effectively a 7 or 8 minute yap fest about a brick breaker roguelike, but the game genuinely devoured my time. It's one of like 3 games this year that I actually fully 100%ed and got all the achievements for, and it didn't even like take me that long. I think I clocked like just under 40 hours or something. It's incredible. It rewards you for playing it. It sucks you in like crazy. I don't think anybody on my friends list who played this game played it for less than like 6 hours, and some people played it for like 12 or 13 in single sittings. It's genuinely incredible, and because of its design, I feel like it is just the perfect roguelike design of suck you in, repeat over and over and over again, but in just a way that doesn't feel like... I think the normal player who doesn't enjoy roguelikes might be able to find joy in this game because the progression is clear, it's well designed, and just phenomenal. If you'd like to check the game out because you've been so interested in this video, all the gameplay that you've been seeing is from the game, and I started a new game so that people could actually view it and not be spoiled for a lot of the cool stuff. I'll have the game's Steam page linked in the description if you'd like to check that out. And now for kind of an aside about my own channel, not related to Ball Pit. I know this video isn't about the video game that I was making. I said I was going to try to get one out this coming month, but I kind of fell behind in my development cycle. My fault. And hopefully next time for the December video, maybe earlier if I can pump out a good like 10 or 15 minutes, I will... make a video about the game then. Hope to see you guys in a month. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.